even out.
Hey, good. They can see the stream.
Alright, here we go, freaks.
Better than nothing.
It is better than nothing.
You won't be able to get calls on it.
Yeah.
They won't be able to hear the calls. I don't know if they could hear the calls on. Well, we didn't have any calls last show, so I don't know.
Yeah.
If they'll get it or not.
It's quite alright.
Yeah, shit happens.
Let's go. Eek! That's not what I wanted to do.
I gotta get a note, like, ready on my fucking phone for where to find us and how to watch us and stuff. Just so I remember what to say each time. And in what order.
You're a lot more organized with all these notes.
I just printed them off in the last 10 minutes before I left.
And you were active at like 3 o'clock this morning, you crazy human.
Yeah, I was writing this.
Yeah.
Fun one.
Alright.
Looks like it's showing up then, huh?
Yep. Just monitoring on video.
Good.
Who did this?
La 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 la.
Test.
La la la.
There we are. Yep, now we got audio.
Mm-hmm. That's not the third. What the fuck?
Yeah, we got 10 minutes to be on the actual radio waves.
Yeah.
But we're on YouTube. Hi, YouTube.
Yep. But to start the show, you guys over there on the stream won't be able to hear if we get any phone calls or anything, but I have to use this live thing rather than the one I used last time, because last time you could watch it live, but God forbid you wanted to watch the archive of the video afterwards.
Yeah.
It wasn't any good. In fact, it never came to be. So that's a little bit of a pain in the ass. But
that was very loud in my headphones.
This?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It resonates for quite a while with all these nice microphones and headphones.
Yeah. Papers! Stories and papers.
Stories and papers. Alright, I gotta navigate to my Evernote here because we've got one heck of a show planned for you guys.
Yeah.
We have got a lot going on.
I just knew that I was going to have to use my laptop, so I was probably going to have to... Oh, this one, too.
Oh, this one, too. What's this one? Keystone Pipeline. Ready for restart.
Yeah. Didn't we tell them it was going to be a fucking environmental disaster?
Yeah. You gotta be kidding me.
Above 1,000-something thousand gallons going on? Yeah. Leaked. That's why we needed to veto
400 barrels of oil, approximately. Yeah, that was a great idea. Let's do that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
No, you go ahead. Do you want that one, or you want me to have it?
Here, you hang on to that one and the rockets.
I got this one. I want to have you a copy of that one.
Okay, good to go. And I'll follow along. Yep.
Can reference.
Commentary. Yep.
Reference stuff. Yep.
This was an interesting one that I loaded here.
Yeah.
It's RNC member. Political parties choose nominees, not the public.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why superdelegates were invented.
And yeah, kind of the kings maybe they are.
Turn up my head.
All right.
Wasn't getting very much there. Is
that better?
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
I need more of myself in my own head.
You need more of yourself. You're so humble.
Yeah.
Oh, noes.
Little bit of narcissism goes a long way.
Yep.
Did it. Oh, okay. It's not the fourth, you stupid... whatever. I move this for a second. You get to see my mug. Boom. I also have some fun stuff on Facebook. And, yeah. As well as a secret special feature that you can only find by going to the Facebook page.
All right, 5 minutes. T-minus 5 minutes. All right, YouTube, just for a preview of what we're doing today.
Dude coom.
Yes. For a little preview of what we're doing today, we're going to be talking about who are you voting for and why. We've also got some really great news lined up for you.
Definitely.
And I should probably get all my profanity out of my system now so that we don't offend the FCC.
Yeah, it's recording up here too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got 4 different ways you can self-publish your book.
That's a good one. This is terrible.
A bit about moose.
What are you doing?
I gotta get it out too. A bit about the moon aided in colonization by steam-powered spacecraft. A little bit of moony steampunk stuff.
Moony steampunk stuff.
Why
That's my favorite.
Neanderthals probably didn't do much human fucking. And the big mother of the evening is how an interview from 22 years ago could blow wide open the war on drugs.
And I'm hoping it does, because that's, what is it, in places like Switzerland and Denmark and stuff, they treat it like a public health issue. I think it's Finland that actually says, if you see somebody that's obviously out of their mind and on something, put a blanket on them, call 911, we'll take care of them.
Yeah.
And instead of...
Welcome to socialized medicine.
That's part of it, but it's more like how they view the whole thing. I mean, in Venezuela, you can't be... In Venezuela, which is deeply socialist, you can't be caught dead with any kind of illegal substance. Same thing, in communist China and all sorts of other things. But in certain places where they've got this cool idea that, it's kind of really your problem.
Yeah.
We're not going to make anything illegal. We're just going to, make sure it's not an issue. That's what keeps the crime surrounding these particular drugs down to a minimum as well. Particularly violent crime. That's what it seems to be to me.
Yeah.
Because then we don't have a black market for it, and people with reasons to shoot the shit out of each other. So.
Oh, I agree. You legalize it and you make it less cool.
And then it disappears. I mean, there's no reason for people to have these big, these huge gangs and all the drug activity. There's no reason to traffic it. There's no reason to kill people over it.
Oh, I hit that on air light.
You want me to shut the studio door? Good to go?
Yes, please.
All right.
That'd be great. I will be following along with live chat stuff. That's there. So live chat with us. I'll be watching that. Also, tweet at us at Working Reader, or you just use the hashtag TWR Live. So if you at Working Reader hashtag TWR Live, you can tweet at us during the show. Facebook.com/WorkingReader957. Best way to check out the show's page. I mean, it's the only way to check out the show's page because it's the show's only page.
It is the show's
Go there,
only page.
give it a like. Check out some of the articles we have posted there. I have 3 weekly spotlights up there, as well as a secret special feature, which I'm not going to tell you about. So I should probably pull Facebook up. Huh?
That would be an idea.
Might be.
It would be. So I'm going to turn it like this way so that the YouTube people can get like a overall picture of the studio here.
Yeah, uno memento.
Ein Minute, bitte.
Yeah.
So here we are. So I've got some listeners, I think. Let's see how many people. Can you see how many people we've got tuned in on YouTube right
3.
now? Sweet. See, I think I might know one of
3
them.
3 persons walking.
We got 3 people. That's amazing. I love it. All right, so I have met some incredible new people, and I'm going to give a shout out right now to my new Sweetwater people.
Mm-hmm.
My new Sweetwater people, my favorite people. Seriously, my coworkers are the stuff. I have met the coolest people working there, and it's only been 2 weeks.
Hook a brother up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hook a brother up. Oop.
So shout out to possibly Connor, Andre, Stuart, Marissa, everybody. Those are people from my floor.
Right. Come on, I hate this. I needed to put this 6-1. Right. Don't say it. Okay, we ready?
We are ready.
2 o'clock.
Ready to rock?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Working Reader Call-In Hour. My name is Dave.
My name is Leah.
And we're here doing another week of cool stories for you guys. We got a bunch of stuff going on. What do we got? We got, later on in the show, a big piece about how an interview from 22 years ago could likely blow the lid off the United States war on drugs. So that's coming up later in the show.
Definitely something to look forward to.
We got a little bit of moon steampunking going on.
I like that.
We got a fun little piece about how one might self-publish one's book.
That would be super.
Yeah.
I've wanted to do that for a long time, and I've got a lot of material I need to collect.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You gotta listen to this one.
I'm going to listen to this one.
What you got? What's going on in the show today?
We have got the Keystone Pipeline ready for restart after repairs are completed. That's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, I'm mad about that.
And apparently a Kabul rocket targeted John Kerry.
Yeah.
In Baghdad.
I think Taliban did something nasty out there.
Yes, they did.
Neanderthals probably weren't hooking up with them human counterparts either, so we'll talk about that during the show.
It's fun and it's educational. Welcome to the Working Reader Call-In Hour.
For sure, dog. I'm on Facebook. You know, you can check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/workingreader957. You can also call us during the show. That's a perfect way to get a hold of us. That's 260-424-8728 to answer our question of the week. And our question of the week is, and no judgment at all, who are you voting for and why? In the primary election, in the general election, I mean, we don't know who's going to be in the general. But in the Indiana primaries are coming up 23 days from now on May 3rd.
You know what? Thank you for letting me know. I was beginning to wonder when that was.
Democratic primary is open.
Okay.
I've already been registered to vote for a while.
I actually just registered a couple of days ago.
Good, because you almost missed the deadline.
I almost did, and if it weren't for, some friend of mine on Facebook posting, hey, it's a friendly reminder, you got to get registered.
Yeah.
Then I figured out that it was definitely time to do that. Definitely time for me to get with the program.
Yep. I can't get any. All right. What am I doing? I'm sorry. My wife is texting me.
Oh, that's very cool.
About a question I had, but now that I'm in the dungeon, I don't have a cell signal down here.
Nope.
So, Twitter is another great way to get a hold of us during the show, and that you can just at Working Reader there, and you can use the hashtag TWR Live to get in touch with us directly.
That's right.
If you're watching on YouTube, we are streaming right now on YouTube.
We are streaming.
So go to youtube.com/David Ploss. All one word, DAVIDPLOSS. And you can see the live stream there. We got 4 people watching. Feel free to answer the question of the week on there on the live chat as well. I'll keep an eye on that. Mm-hmm. And I'll mention some of your comments on the air if they're presentable.
Yes, absolutely. So if you're too shy to call in, you can let us know that you're listening, and you can get in touch with us on Facebook, Twitter, or the live stream on YouTube.
We're all over the place.
We are all over the place. No kidding.
I just want to let you guys know that you're listening to WELT 95.7. As always, Welt comes to you from the main library downtown and via the tower at IPFW. Welt is generously funded by the Friends of the Library, who encourage all Allen County residents to come to any branch library and read a book.
During business hours.
During business hours.
I mean, you can't just waltz in there anytime.
No can do other time.
So that's right. Some of the newer people that have been possibly tuning in on YouTube or on the air, you can get a hold of us at the above mentioned links.
Yeah, for sure.
So go ahead and answer the question of the week, any and all of you.
I went to a Bernie meetup thing at headquarters yesterday.
At headquarters?
It's the Allen County campaign headquarters.
Okay, campaign headquarters. I thought it was just a generic.
It's Bernie's headquarters.
He's doing his Batman voice.
My parents are dead.
If there's somebody around to argue with that statement, you should probably not make it.
Yeah. Anyways. That was fun. I mean, I met a bunch of people there, chatted politics, not only here, but the UK and Canada.
All right.
We had a guy whose name was Adrian, who has only lived in the U.S. for the last 7 years. He's from the UK.
You know, it's interesting. I met someone who's only been living in the U.S. for the last, 8-9 years
Yeah.
or so. Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
These darn immigrants.
They're
ruining our country.
But they got here legally, okay?
Uh-huh.
They weren't smuggled in.
Yeah, well, even if they were, what they're doing, picking fruit, you know what I mean? Well, are you going to do it?
Yes, I would love to.
Really?
No, I really would, because I'm right now in like a
You're the only
office.
one.
I like being outdoors, all right?
Okay.
Oh,
well,
I got an answer on that.
Do you?
Timeline there. It's, yes, 8 years. He said.
8 years.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
well,
living in the United
go
States.
home.
No, don't go home. We love you. We love you.
Just kidding. Oh, also, you can listen to the show on TuneIn Radio if you got to leave or go somewhere. TuneIn Radio, just go to tunein.com and search for WELT, and you'll find it without a problem. 95.7. Bing, bang, boom. You can hear us wherever you're at around the world.
And answer our question of the week.
Yes. Who are you voting for and why? Phone lines open.
Yep.
We're ready for you. Call us.
We're ready for you. So we're going to answer that here in studio. Like, Dave, who are you voting for?
I will be voting for Bernie Sanders in the Democratic primary, and honestly, also in the general election.
It's just anything you can throw into the ballot box.
If I got to write something in, I'll write something in.
You know?
But I do not support or condone any other of the candidates for president. If I wanted to go as simple as, well, I don't know, based on the solidarity of their record.
There you go.
The only one doing it for 45 years the same way for the last 45 years is Bernie Sanders.
That's very
And
true.
I respect that level of integrity.
I have to say that I have met more Bernie supporters than supporters of absolutely anyone else, particularly here in Indiana and recently around my new workplace. And it's everywhere, which is really strange because I think I told you last week, it's like there are a lot of uber conservative people. Like church-going people.
Yeah.
Very
Radcons, we call it. Radical conservatives.
No.
I call them that.
No, they're Bernie supporters.
Oh, really?
But they go to church and stuff.
Okay.
It's just kind of, I was really weirded out by that paradigm, you know?
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people say, hey, well, I was for Trump until Bernie came along, or, you know, or vice versa. If Trump doesn't win, I'm voting for Bernie. Well, all right, I guess.
Well, now we know.
We'll have you.
Yeah.
I hope you're not dumb. Please.
Please make sure you're not dumb.
You know. But even if you are, I'm sure it's fixable with free tuition. So.
Education doesn't necessarily mean they're not idiots. I mean, I've met many college graduates that are still.
But it helps.
It's not bad to learn things, particularly formally, and not to knock anybody who's got formal education.
Yep.
But let's be serious, you cannot fix stupid, and it was said very, very correctly way back when.
Ron White.
Yep, you cannot fix stupid.
Yep.
I love Ron White.
Me too. I don't believe he said cannot. I said you can't fix stupid. I believe he said can't.
He did.
He's a lot less proper than you gave him credit for just then.
It's true. It's true. He's famous for being one of the blue collar comedy guys, but he's actually very intelligent. You know, on his own.
Introduced me to my favorite scotch, which is super hard to get.
Really?
The Black Grouse. Yeah.
Never heard of it.
I know. Most people haven't. It's very good.
See, all scotch, all across the board.
All scotch all the time.
All scotch all the time.
In my mouth.
It tastes like burning plastic. I can't get over it. It tastes like plastic that's on fire, and people are like, no, you're not opening up the bouquet right. You have to let it sit there, and you have to do this, and you have to add a little bit of water. And
just drink it.
I'm sorry, it just tastes
There are
like
multiple different ways to drink
plastic
it.
that's on fire. It's plastic that's on fire.
Yeah, you
just
drink
take a
bourbon?
Yes.
Bourbon is plastic with slight wood scraps thrown in there.
No. See, I get notes of like cherry and vanilla and caramel.
If you drank scotch, right, you get that too.
Nope. Nope, it's plastic. It's on fire.
Don't skirt the question, Leah. Who are you voting for and why? Hey, Cynthia Matthews on
I am voting
live chat says go Bernie.
Here's my vote. It is no confidence. I have no confidence in any candidate. I'm with Ron Paul on this one. I don't have any confidence in any
Paul?
Yep. He was the one that said
God bless America.
He, seriously, and I loved this. I loved that he said this because...
I said no judgment. I'll restrain myself.
No confidence. There isn't a candidate... I mean, we the American people have the choice between ointment or suppository. There is nothing... There is not a good option. And I don't think that's not even fair. Because
look at Bernie's record. I don't know what kind of lack of confidence one could have in that.
That he's a career politician. He's not lived life like an actual working human.
Yes.
For the last 45 years, he's been in office.
Yeah, but his salary is nothing. He takes no donations. He does none of the fundraising. He takes calls for 6 to 8 hours a day when he's not campaigning from constituents in his area. I mean, he's as far as I know, the only one actually doing representative government.
Then I stand corrected on Bernie Sanders, at least as far as the actual interaction with humans.
And I understand that part bothers you a lot, and it bothers me a lot. That complete lack of representation.
Well, not even a lack of representation, but in this case, for example, Hillary Clinton spending her millions and millions of dollars on trying to convince people that she's just like us, and that's nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing at all. And
I agree, and that's why when I looked, I spent the equivalent amount of days, probably a couple of weeks, researching Bernie. And which is why I'm a fountain of that kind of information for friends of mine who might have questions. And I've looked up his backstory, his personal history, his living situation. They live in an apartment, him and Jane, in Burlington.
Cool. And
they just live comfortably below their means.
That's good.
He definitely is very much an old hippie holdover from that time. I mean, he wears a suit, but he doesn't wear it that well.
No, he looks he looks very unkempt.
No judgment. If you got questions, feel free to contact me any kind of way.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, and I'll be more than happy to chat with you about it, or to dispel, or further inform. You know what I mean?
Further inform. I like that.
Further
inform.
That's how I like to do that. I worked on a friend of mine who's a Trump supporter yesterday, and he walked away. I think with a different option in his head. And a little and more knowledge. I'm happy to say he walked away with more knowledge and did say thank you. So that made me feel good that I could help my friends become more informed about anybody they want to know about. That's I don't really care who you're voting for. I'd like you to vote for one person, but I'm not gonna you do you, boo.
You do you.
But then when your guy loses, you have no room to say to B word, I can't say that word, but I want to. Yeah. Anyways, okay, so no confidence vote for me right now.
Yep, no confidence.
Well, if you were to choose, you have a write-in slot.
Yeah.
Is there someone you'd like to see as president?
Rand Paul. Because he was running and it was going well, and he really was standing against. He really did stand against the grain of the Republican establishment, the Democratic establishment. What I really loved the most about his policies, about his
I was going to say, what was he standing for?
He was standing for abolishing the IRS, abolishing the Federal Reserve Bank, completely getting rid of the privatization of America's federal money. That's what I was all for. He was going to completely burn and shred the tax code and rewrite it into a simpler form, where
fairtax.org.
Kinda, yeah.
You ever been there?
No.
That's you should check that out.
Okay.
That's a tax system I support.
Okay, I will check it out absolutely.
Okay. I mean, but okay, doing away with the privatization of the money.
That's what caused the stock market crash, was trying to actually organize this in the first place.
Well, no, what caused the stock market crash was that Glass-Steagall was overturned, and banks were then allowed to gamble with investors' money, not investors' money, our money, the money we put in.
Yeah.
So, because there was no repercussion if they lost it.
Yeah.
The government, it's FDIC insured. The government will bail them out and bail us out. So, yeah, I can't remember the term. What we are known to the banks as, personally.
That's a really good question, actually.
Yeah, I heard it the other day, and now I can't remember. But anyways, they gambled with that money and created derivatives on the bad loans, on the mortgage stuff. They gambled with the mortgages and with our money. So that's what caused the collapse when all those notes had to be called.
Gotcha.
And that's a very crude way of putting the whole situation. I did better yesterday. But it wasn't just the mortgages. It wasn't just the banks. It was, countrywide mortgages and the banks combining to ultimately sabotage the entire situation. Oh, I got more stuff on
the YouTube
YouTube live stream. Cynthia Matthews continues to say, "Oh, I would have more confidence in Bernie. He has an impeccable record. He doesn't flip-flop." Bernie was a documentary maker, writes his own bills for Congress, and writes his own letters to constituents. Real person. People in Vermont love him. When they have questions, they can call him directly. He's not hiding in an ivory tower like the other candidates. This is to libertarians. You. Who shovels snow off the public roads? Doesn't work. We're a society, not a bunch of loners, but only shovel their driveways and expect to be able to get to work with clear roads. I mean, to a point, you do away with the IRS, you do away with, that then trickles to the public roadway system.
The IRS?
Yeah, that's where our taxes are distributed, through the IRS. They're collected and then distributed to the socialist programs that we have, like road cleaning.
Aren't those state, though?
The state gets federal money to do that, especially depending on what road you're on. Say you're on say you're on 24, that's all federally funded by the United States highway system.
So
to the state, and the state carries out the cleaning.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because it's called INDOT, not FedDOT.
Yep.
That's another thing entirely.
Well, it's easier to manage a large system like that by breaking it down into departments, 50 different departments. So the funding they get comes from the federal government to plow specific roads. Indiana state roads are funded by Indiana taxpayer money, which is collected by the Indiana Department of Revenue, or whatever that department's called, through our state taxes.
Yeah.
And then we all get to benefit from the results of it. Now, the results aren't always perfect, but we'll never have perfect results. We're not perfect people.
Well,
you know what I mean?
And I'm not expecting perfection. I'm not expecting perfection out of any of the candidates. I just think that they have, and this is my biggest problem, the whole lifetime pension thing. Nobody should get that. No president, no congressperson, no cabinet member, no. That should
president.
Not
it should be a merit-based system. You should have an approval rating of over 60%, and then
I don't think that's fair.
There's never that many presidents living at the same time either. And what's it, 480,000 for president every year?
I'm sorry. That's astronomical.
Oh yeah, and trust me,
that's
Rand Paul
ridiculous.
Has pushed for raises in Congress for himself and others. I mean,
they all do.
Yeah, it's a problem.
It is a big
cut
problem.
Veterans benefits, and they cut any kind of bill that Bernie's put forward to try to help veterans or disabled vets, and folks like Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell and
those people,
even those that are disabled vets, in
but
Congress,
never mind,
burned it to the ground. Ted Cruz has filibustered many veterans-specific bills,
and then pushed
for their own raises.
Once again, I can fix the national debt crisis in one fell swoop. And in fact, I'm debating personally, putting myself on the ballot, just because, even though I know it won't happen. But here's the only thing you have to do: go back to the volunteer system. Go back to it. They should have to have their own dang job. They should have to have their own retirement problems, just like all the American people do. They should have to take care of it themselves, instead of having the taxpayers heft their overfed butts along the way. I'm sorry. I'm not into putting into the pockets of politicians. The
IRS is also the only system that allows us to tax those individuals who are laundering their money offshore.
And that would be great if they would actually do their job.
And
the
problem with the corporate Democrats we've had in office, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, and Barack Obama, is that they're not here to help us as individual citizens. They're here to further corporate agendas and their donors, and allow for things like the Panama Papers that came out recently.
Now this is why
Hillary Clinton was a huge supporter of the free trade deal with Panama. And Bernie Sanders was against it vehemently, because no jobs would be produced in the United States out of a free trade deal with Panama. And it was simply a move to launder money.
That's
new tax havens.
And this is, again, part of the reason I have this extreme lack of confidence in any of the politicians, any of them at all, ever. Because, frankly, they don't have the consequences of their own decisions. We do.
Right.
They're completely immune to the repercussions, the bad things. They're completely immune to it. And somebody who's in a position, or rather in no position, to have these consequences wrought upon them from their own decisions, they should not be making decisions.
Well,
forget it. Forget it. I think they all suck.
I get it. I'm more than likely both of us will evolve on the issue over time.
And maybe. I don't know. This whole election, and I'm glad to see that more people are interested, more people are paying attention, more people are being active, and that's great. I think this is probably the most, watched and listened to election process, like this whole campaign thing, the beginning of it, and so on. This has been more popular that way than I think any other election in the last, probably 12. And that's encouraging, which is cool, and that's great.
I'll have to fact check this, but Cynthia mentions Bernie Sanders didn't push for a raise in Congress. He's the exception. He may have voted against another raise in Congress. Which, hey, if you're the minority, you're still going to get outvoted on that. And see the benefits of a raise in Congress. But
again, there should be, they should have to volunteer. They should have to have their own dang day job, and then go and do this as a public service.
Like representative democracy. That's why we need public funding of elections. That's why we need to get the money out of politics. And that's why I support Wolfpack, wolf-pack.com. Let's get a constitutional amendment to get the money out of politics.
There needs to be less regulation on the American people, and there needs to be more regulation on corporations and politics. I'm sorry, there does. I am all for having liberty given back to the people, and put the shackles on Washington where they belong. For example, they shouldn't be able to go to war and just randomly declare it unless the people vote for it. Well, the people aren't informed. They need to be more informed.
The people are supposed to be represented by the people in Congress, and the people,
and they're not.
The people's wishes are supposed to be represented by those in Congress. And when you're not, you get these brush fire wars like we have all over the place, and this nonsense. When the American people are going, "What the heck are you doing? Stop it!
We didn't vote for this.
We didn't put you in. We put you in office to know what we want and to take our questions and listen to us. You're not listening to us. Don't go to war." And that's why we need a complete changeover in the political system.
I think it needs to be shrunk down to a micro size. That's what I think.
But then how are you going to enforce the shackles on the corporate side?
No. I'm saying on Congress. On Congress, it needs to be shrunk down like a lot. There's entirely too much BS going on. And fine, I'm all for the three branches and what they were
because a lot of Republicans talk about
supposed to do.
They talk about small government. It's better for the people that way. And then they want to tell you when you can and cannot have a child, what women can do with their body.
Again, this is more regulation on the people.
How is any of that small government? You know how large, and then they want to talk about tripling the size of the military.
Again,
they don't realize how much government would be necessary for a system like that. But, how are you going to enforce that with a tiny A government? Government tiny AF! It's just such hypocrisy in my mind.
This is
but
what I'm
it's been a
trying to
fun
say.
conversation. So if you want to call us and give us your opinions or chat on the YouTube live stream, tweet at us.
Let us know.
Yeah, the number is 260-424-8728 to tell us who you're voting for and why.
There we go.
We'll have you on board, I guess. And we'll try to keep them short, so we're not going to get... We have the luxury of talking for a longer length of time in studio.
We do.
But you guys don't. I have a button that says kill on it.
It's the panic
It'll
button.
zap you right through your through your phone line and zap your brain.
That's awesome.
So when I'm done hearing you talk, I will cut you off.
when we're finished listening, you won't know.
You know it. Yeah, okay. So why don't we get to the newsy stories?
Let's get to these newsy stories.
Yeah.
What do we want to do first? You go first.
I don't know. Let's lead it off with books. Let's go get away from the politics stuff for a second.
I'm all for it.
This article I got, this is from jobsforyouonly.com.
Alrighty then.
Which makes sense in the vein of self-publishing and
there we are.
DIY. Mm-hmm. Do it yourself. This article was entitled "The 4 Methods of Self-Publishing Your Book." It's a fun one. For self-publishing a book means that you take the risk of losing money, but you will see your name in print whenever you want. Really.
All right.
With a traditional publishing house, you got to go back and forth, and maybe they'll accept it, maybe they won't, and then you got to deal with editor process, and it can be a nightmare. But the internet has become an amazing thing. The written book will disappear from the shelves soon as well, unless you keep track and republish as... Good God. Okay, this was in a different language. I apologize. Anyways, what he's saying is that self-publishing is becoming more and more prevalent. The digital marketplace is becoming more and more prevalent. We're seeing a decline in printed material in the United States and across the world. Magazines, for example, have dwindled.
And they got more expensive at the exact same time. What in the world is that?
They were hedging their bets and stocking up, if you understand what I'm saying. Get as much money as we can in the last minute.
Yeah. I wanted to buy a magazine the other
day. I get
day.
magazines for free in the mail.
Yeah.
Glamour started showing up in my house, and I've never subscribed to it. So I'll give it to Ayla. She's 14.
There you go.
Whatever.
Why not?
Why not give her a skewed view of the world?
Oh, God. Here,
I realize it now. I go,
let
I
me
probably
warp your
done
brain first, and then you can hear, welcome to the world. Hope you do better than I did.
Try not to let this screw your brain up.
Yep.
So, since, unlike this is weird. Sorry, the translation is off. I think the conjugation was screwy.
The syntax is terrible.
Since, unlike in the case of main publications, the bookstore owners are not likely to contact you for copies, and you will not have the resources to send the copies to more than a few stores. To publish your book by yourself, there are 4 models you can go by. And I glanced all this over, so I didn't read all the direct syntax. My bad. This is subsidy. Here you pay part way, i.e. for printing and binding, and the publisher pays the cost of editing, distributing, and marketing, so naturally a part of the profits will be claimed by the publisher. Kind of a profit-sharing motive there. Vanity, that's the vanity model of book publishing. If you aspire to see your name in print badly enough that you're ready to risk a substantial financial loss, or are dead sure you've written a brilliant book and would rather not share the profit, then this is the route you can take. Pay for all of the services, but retain the ownership of the book and therefore the entire profit. Vanity publishing is I do not condone a vanity publisher. And if you see a publisher that you have questions about, get in contact with me, and I'll let you know whether or not it's a vanity publisher and stuff. I've been doing this for years, folks. So if you got questions on self-publishing, David@theworkingreader.com. Send me an email with your questions. We'll try to get things figured out and squared away for you. Self-publishing model, you pay for production, manufacture, distribution, and storage, and keeps the majority of the share of your revenue. This leaves hardly any editing, proofreading, and perhaps cover design up to the publisher. That's what they do. For this, a small part of the profit will be taken by the publisher. And the print-on-demand model, which is becoming more popular now. Lulu.com is a prime example of a print-on-demand service. If you write in some genre that's not so well read, that this is the route you want to take. You'll use your resources, but print a limited number of books, maybe even one or two at a time, via different publishing houses. This was written by an Indian author, and then it was translated. But you got some self-publishing houses in the U.S. you guys might like to take a look at. Author House is one. I have a buddy of mine who publishes through Author House. Bob Books, Ex Libris, Vantage Press, Notion Press, Books LLC, iUniverse, and then as well as Amazon is another place to do digital self-publishing. But what this article focuses on is the print version. Mm-hmm. So if you want to get into digital self-publishing, that's a whole nother story.
He goes just a tiny bit crazy in the studio, folks.
Yeah, I got a lot to talk about in that vein.
We have got a lot to talk about.
So that's 4 methods of self-publishing your book. Try it sometime. Short story. Get it up on, Kindle Direct Publishing or something through Amazon. Enjoy yourself. We got 7 people watching now. 1 person a minute.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Cynthia recommends we avoid Ex Libris, Author House, and iUniverse. I will agree with you on Ex Libris. I have not checked out iUniverse, but Author House, I know for a fact, my buddy John C. Scott, who wrote his Adam Kane series of novels, has published through Author House and has had great luck. So, yeah, I enjoy it. Scams, worst was Publish America, America Start. Yeah, that's why they weren't included on this list. Biggest vanity published scam ever.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even very good quality. You paid for a bunch of stuff that you never got, and there's nothing they can do about it because they rendered you a service. Mm-hmm. That's it.
And there we have it.
What do you got over there? You want to talk about that Keystone XL nonsense?
I actually was going to do that. Let me run myself. Here we are. All right, so this is going to be
myself up for the meanness.
So here we are, and again, this is kind of going back to politics.
Cherry pick. You don't gotta read the whole thing.
But whatever with that.
Yeah.
So apparently this Keystone Pipeline is ready for a restart after repairs are completed. This is by James McPherson, originally published at bigstory.ap.org. And it says,
Associated Press.
TransCanada Corporation said Saturday that it has completed repairs to its Keystone Pipeline a week after the pipeline oozed thousands of gallons of Canadian crude into a South Dakota field. That's a great idea. How about this? Here, let's just intentionally pour it there. I mean, instead of bothering to try to joke about it being a pipeline.
We see zero I talked about this last night at the Bernie thing. When I went at the headquarters, it was supposed to be a watch party for Wyoming's primary and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Wyoming came in a lot faster. It was less than 300 votes in Wyoming for the Democratic primary. Bernie won, but they split delegates 7-7. So, he needs to crush in New York if he's going to make headway.
Oh
man, what if he wins in New York?
And you're getting juicy jaws.
Don't freak out. Don't freak out, Dave. Don't freak out.
Keep your shirt on, please.
It's hot in here. But anyways.
So yes, this is not exactly a laughing matter. The Keystone Pipeline can handle 550,000 barrels, or about 23 million gallons daily. It's a pipeline system that also would have included Keystone XL pipeline had President Barack Obama. I tried to combine that into one word.
I heard that. Sounded like a mental right hook to my...
Pro-Obama. I don't know. I don't know.
Pro-Obama?
I don't know.
You find those in the Whole Foods store.
Yep.
Pro-Obamas. You got to keep them refrigerated because they're good for your guts.
Okay, I'm going to try to finish this article real quick. TransCanada said Friday that it has received conditional approval from the Federal Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Administration to restart the pipeline after identifying the source of the leak that occurred about 4 miles from the Freeman Pump Station in Hutchinson County, South Dakota.
God, man.
So they're going to reopen this silly thing. And I think they started out with an idea that was just ridiculous and cartoonish. And I mean, they must have been going, how can we most effectively completely destroy an entire state's ecosystem?
Yep. We see zero profits from this thing. We see 15,000 temporary jobs.
Yeah.
Temporary jobs, mind you. No permanency to this project. None of that oil goes to us. We see zero profits from it. There is no point. It should have been vetoed. Mm-hmm. It was not vetoed. And it was another notch in my belt against the corporatism of Barack Obama, in my mind. Mm-hmm. I really did not like that decision. He also I mean, it started early in his presidency for me. I was like all going, oh, yeah, hope and change, make it happen. Come on, bring us your hope and change. And then 3 weeks later, he expands offshore drilling in the Gulf. 3 weeks after that, we have the BP oil crisis. You know, you said you weren't going to do this stuff. Why are you doing it? Oh, because my donors told me to.
Yeah, and it's once again they're not representing the people.
That first paragraph did the job perfectly in that story. Yeah, they spilled 1,000 gallons. We told you this was going to suck. Of course.
No kidding. But never mind. What do the constituents know anyway?
And then North Dakotans and South Dakotans were like, 15,000 jobs. Why not? Ting, you know. Go home.
Yes.
I got another one here.
All right, we've got something a little bit
more on to
interesting and amusing here.
Yeah. Neanderthals weren't person poking. Neanderthals were most likely not person poking. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh my god.
Because persons are Homo sapiens, not Neanderthals.
Homo sapiens?
Homo sapiens, man.
Homo sapiens.
Oh.
We're obviously so much smarter.
Homo, no homo.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm clipping these speakers so bad.
I couldn't.
Oh my god.
But this article comes from LiveScience.com. They're reporting why Neanderthals likely fathered few kids with modern humans. Humans today often carry around a small chunk of DNA from Neanderthals, suggesting we interbred with our closest known extinct relatives at some point in our history. So why isn't there more Neanderthal DNA in modern humans? Turns out the Y chromosome may have been key in keeping the two lineages apart by creating conditions that might often have led to miscarriages if when the two got together. That's a typo. Come on, Live Science, do some live editing.
Please.
Researchers now say. Recent findings suggest.
Researchers now say, please use punctuation.
Up top.
All right.
Oh, that was lame.
Well, you know,
we'll do
at
another
least
one later.
you didn't hit my knuckles with your ink.
Right.
That usually is what happens.
Yeah. Recent findings suggest that Neanderthals lived in Europe and Asia may have died out about 40,000 years ago. So that's some interesting stuff.
That is some interesting
Y
stuff.
chromosomes. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Overall, the differences between the Neanderthal and modern human Y chromosome suggest that these lineages diverged almost 590,000 years ago, consistent with previous research. So it's been a while. Neanderthal, Neanderthunderdome.
We're having entirely too much fun over here.
Mad Maximilian with the huge forehead.
You know?
Yeah, sunken eyes. The Neanderthal Y chromosome was genetically distinct from any seen in modern humans. This suggests that this L syndrome male's lineage is extinct without any living. And we got a phone call because that's all I needed to do with that.
All right.
So,
for our YouTube listeners, we'll probably cover this later.
Yeah. Welcome to the Working Reader Call-In Hour. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hey, John, how you doing today, bud? You did, that's right. This is John, prominent atheist and author.
All right.
Yes, we're glad to have you on the show, my friend.
Yes, glad to have you.
Had a great conversation. Well, we got that question of the week for you. Who you voting for and why? Bernie Sanders. I like to hear that.
Of course.
What is it about Bernie that speaks to you strongest? Yeah. You're right. Awesome. Yeah. Mm-hmm. At least, yeah. Or at least bring that offshore money back to the States would be nice. Sure. Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you answering the question. Hey, where can people find your books, by the way? Wonderful. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you later. Appreciate you calling in, man. Have a good rest of the weekend.
It's good to meet you.
Bye-bye. That was great.
Yay, we got a caller.
That was great, John. Yeah, I met John last night at the Bernie thing. Gave him the number of the show, and
All right.
he had the option if you wanted to call in. So that's great. We're probably going to lose the stream here in a couple minutes.
I've been warning people on online here. We're about to lose contact on YouTube.
I forgot my power cord for my laptop.
And this is what happens when you do things like that.
Yep.
Or if you just don't have a decent battery on it.
Well, it's not brand new either, so that's part of it. So if it winks out, it winks out.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys. That's great. Yeah, John debunking Christianity.
Pretty
he was
all right.
in the running to take over the chair seat of, or the president of American Atheists, which is now held by David Silverman. I don't know if you've watched any of his debates against Mormons and Christians. And